one of favorite topic lately. So here is my website where you can find a collection I put in the chat of all my visualization. What we are going to talk about today, it's a short introduction about the Dubois challenge, as we don't have much time, but we try to do our best. Okay, so a bit about me. My name is Federica Gazzelloni. I am an independent researcher involved in a couple of interesting projects about health sciences. I am passionate about data visualization, obviously, and also actuarial statistics, because I am an actuary. I also love to be part of the book club facilitators team with the R4DS online community learning. So first time I had a look at the graph, I thought the Dubois challenge, I thought, what are they? Bad graphs? But actually, then I realized, I looked, searched for more information, and I said, oh, that's gonna be bad, but I will embark on this challenge. Okay, so they replicating the Dubois visualization. It's a bit like walking me through it, please, because somehow they are challenging, let's say. Okay, let's have a look at a bit about the history. So the history of these plates dates back to the 1900s, when the graphics were first commissioned to Dubois, and we will see a bit more about him, and then exposed it to the Paris Exposition. So we are dating back to the 1900s. Oops. Okay. Those graphs have also an impact on society, especially at the time, because they were groundbreaking, as they provided empirical evidence of the social and economic condition of the African Americans in the United States. And so then we have Anthony Starks here. Thank you very much for coming. And so then this challenge started as a competition named after Dubois, who was a prominent African-American sociologist, historian, and civil rights activist. And the task is to replicate these original plates, which are handmade. And it is a collection of bar graphs, pie charts, maps, illustrating various social economic aspects of the African-American life at the time. Here you can see the challenge for 2024. So for this year, we have 10 weeks. And so we are now replicating this challenge 5, this stacked bar plot here. So replicating the challenge, we use we use R and ggplot2. So if you like to follow along, please make sure you have your studio environment ready, or you can add over posit.cloud, so you don't have to install R, and you can code straight away. We load these packages, which are necessary for this visualization: the tidyverse, the patchwork, sysfont, and show text. Then we are going to import the data. Okay, so I'll copy a few things during the presentation, so you have it there. So here you have the full list, and you can search for challenge 5, but then I will add them in the chat again. If you want, I can add the packages in case you like to follow along. So once you have the data ready, you need to apply the Dubois style, and you can have a look at this specification of the characteristics of the style of the Dubois graphs. And to understand, they have particular characteristics such as particular colors that are, you can see, listed here, but you can somehow try to customize them a bit if you can. These are the base colors. Then there is some font selection, mainly public sans, but you can play with that as well, or charter or other. They even have made their own fonts. So the Dubois fonts, you can buy them here from vocal type. And then one interesting characteristic of the Dubois style is the design, which is mainly reverse true. So anything that you do, make sure that you reverse it and you you know, find a way to make it okay. So to reach the original visualization. Okay, so I jump into R. At the end of this session, which will be very fast, you have the chance to ask some questions. Otherwise, if you have questions during the presentation, you can put in the chat and I'll answer them later. Okay, so if you like to follow along, you have installed the packages and load the data, which I put them in the chat as an R code, so you can follow along if you like. So this is the data, and now we are going to see a bit better about them. So let's first load them with that. So we use a read CSV function with a URL. And then we have a look at this data. Okay, so the might take a bit. I'm not sure about that. Okay, so let's put this. Okay, so as you can see, it's a very simple data set. And if we have a look at the original plate, which is this one here, as you can see, we have three categories, some information about the percentages. Percentages of proportions of the race in Georgia. And these are based on a study, you know, and we have like 16% of persons with more white than Negro blood. And this is even nicer to have a look at, and person with some white and some descendants things, or full-blooded Negro is, which is the majority in this graph. Okay, so at the time in Georgia, okay, so this is the very simple data set. So when you want to plot it, a bar plot of this data set, what you will do is that you use a ggplot function with an aesthetics, and then you might want to put in the x-axis the categories, and in the y-axis the percentage. Okay, and then you might want to add a layer with to make a bar plot. Okay, so as you can see, the first visualization is a simple bar plot. Okay, so you have the category on the x-axis and the percentage on the y-axis. So but this is not exactly what we need to do. Okay, because we need a stacked bar plot. So first things, we need one bar plot. So we substitute the category with one. This way, we got one huge stacked bar plot. So to visualize that better, we fill with the color of the category. So we can now see that we have the same spec. Okay, this is the yellow, the brown, and the black. But then we will need to add the colors. Okay, so the Dubois style. So we might don't need to show the legend. So we use legend false. And so we deal now with this. You do a bit of research. I could provide you with some links, but for now, just trust me and take these colors, which are put in the chat. So these are for the colored bars, and these are for the text. If we jump back to here, you can see that the text inside the stacked bar changes. Okay, and also it's handwritten. So you might need some particular fonts, which are put in the chat. You can use it. So we use a public stand, and then with 100, and then a public stand medium with 600, and then a freehand. Okay, this is might not be entirely exactly, but you can play with it. Okay, so let's go back to our bar plot, our stacked bar plot, and start customizing with a scale fill with a Dubois style, okay, manual. And then we add the values. The values will be the colored bars, the colored bar, and so we can see what is it. So now we have the colors. Okay, we still miss the text and many things. So the next step will be to add a geom text. But if we use a geom text, we can specify the labels. The label equals to the percentage. Okay, if we just run this, okay, we can see that it plots the numbers, but they are not where we want. So they are like positioned because they are stacked on top of each other. Okay, while these are the value, the real value. So we need to make a modification of our data plot. So what we are going to do for the sake of time, we are basically adding one more vector with, and I'm going to show that to you. So the YY vector is now telling us the position that we want the text. And so you are going to, as it's a stacked bar, sum up the three percentage values, while the last one will be just a half, and so on for the vector information. Okay, so that they will be positioned right in the middle of the stacked bar. So this part is all the same as we saw before, while the geom text now has a Y that changed. Okay, before it was a percentage, now it's the YY vector. And then the label is not just percentage, but it's customized to be with a percentage value. The color of the text will be color text, and then the family, which is the font, will be freehand. Now I've had even a little customization for the x-axis because I've started positioning them on one on the x-axis. Okay, so I left a bit like a range where we can visualize the stacked bar. So now you can see that we have our stacked bar with the text, which is customized in the right place. Okay, and so we call it this plot one. Let's run this and save it as a plot one. Going back to our original plate, we need to add this other bit of text, which I'm going to add it as a second plot, and I put it beside it. Okay, this is might not be the only way to do that. You can do many things. You can customize the y-axis, etc. But I like to do that this time this way to show you that this can be done even this way. Okay, so I'll put the text in the chat so you have it there. This is basically the text underneath the categories. Okay, so this text here. And then this is the plot, okay, which starts like this with a blank canvas, but then we might want to add, okay, as you can see, a geom text with the label with the black, brown, and yellow customized, all capital letters, and then specify the family public sun med, because as you can see, it's a bit like it's bolded. Okay, so we use the medium. Then you play a bit with the size. Now, okay, I played with it, so I set it to size 3. And then this is the text that I put in the chat, that you just add the text. If I copy and paste this and put it here, you can see, oops, you can see that the text, okay, is now in this new plot, okay? So let's now, even here, specify the X and the Y limits. Let's run this bit. So we can see that now we have the black with the text underneath, okay? And everything is done. If we run this plot 2, we have the plot. So now we have the plot 1 and plot 2. So with patchwork, we could just do this, okay? And we can see that they are one beside of the other. But I like to use this function from patchwork, which I put in the chat. It's plot layout. And so we can specify the number of columns. Obviously, nothing changes here. Okay, exactly as the same, but I use this to show you what's happened, because we can even customize it further. Okay, so we can add the title. This is the bit that we've just seen. We can add the title with the plot annotation function. Okay, so we can add the title exactly as the same, race, amalgamation, Georgia, and the space and the dot. And then subtitle, I left a line after it to give a bit of space, and then I put my caption with this is not belonging to the original plate, you know. And then I use the theme void to get rid of all the customizations of the X and Y axes and things. This is the output, the first rough raw output of the plot. Okay. So now we need to do a bit more. Okay, such as customizing the title, setting it to the center of the plot with a specified font and size, as well as the subtitle and the caption. So let's run this. And we can see that now it's a bit more like what we want. We're done, so everything is done. If we like to save it, just as is, I put this in the chat. Then you can use ggsave function. Let's save it and have a look at how it is. Okay, I have it there. Hope you can see it. You should be able to see it. And so this is the what we did it so far. Okay, now it's nearly done, but obviously the fonts are not exactly the fonts, but that once you have the right one, you can just substitute them. But here, as you can see here, the original, let's go back to the original plate. As you can see, this is aligned to here, and this is aligned to the other. So the fonts are like a bit spreading out a bit more. And so one way to customize this graph is placing a placeholder between the two plots and then reduce the space. This is one of the way to do those things. You might don't want to make a second plot, but you might want to customize the y-axis, adding annotations, for example, inside one plot. It's up to you. There are different best practices or techniques in R that you can use. So what's happened if we place, we put a placeholder between the two plots. Okay, so now we have the two plots with a placeholder. Okay, as you can see, now there's a placeholder here. And if I use the plot layout, I specify 3 columns this time, and then the width. Okay, we can see that now, as I put it to 0, the placeholder is not there anymore. Okay, so it's 0, but I can put it to a negative value, to minus, for example, let's say, and reduce the space between the two, for example, as you can see. Okay, so let's put it to 0 and run. The rest is all the same as before. I just put a placeholder and increase the number of columns. So now we can run this and then again specify, without specifying any name of the plot, run again with Control Shift Enter this chunk in quarto, which is made in quarto, and we can see, which is here, that this changed a bit. So now they are a bit like aligned. So now you need to play with the font here to make it like spreading a bit out and maybe adding a bit more place on the other one. So this is what I like it to show you. Hope you enjoyed. Obviously, I imagine you have questions, so you can put them in the chat or raise your hand. I'll be happy to answer any question you might have. Also, I suggest you to get more information about this challenge. I put everything in the chat. These are nice informations for you to have a look at to get a bit more information. Why I'm doing this is to practice. There is nothing better, besides the fact of the art of data visualization, there is nothing better than data visualization for practicing using R. This is a plus of these things. And so this is all I've got. In the chat, you'll find some extra information about Twitter and the challenges. I stop sharing. and